Tomorrow marks 80 years since a day that possibly changed the course of world history.
Thousands of American and Allied troops stormed the beaches of Normandy, France. Now, decades later, many are still remembering the sacrifices made that day. On your sides, Erin Jenkins spoke with an Army veteran from Greenville. She joins us here in the studio. Erin, what does this day mean to him?
Well, like for so many people, Scott Barker says this is a day of reflection. He was stationed for 3 years of his Army service in France. During that time, one of his responsibilities was to plan the annual D-Day commemorations in Normandy. Now he's back here in Pitt County working with local veteran groups, but he says those are memories he won't forget.
It was a huge sacrifice, for the participants, and your heart goes out, to the folks that didn't make it. And I don't know that they really knew what they were kind of getting into. They knew that they were going to go storm ashore, but I mean, hitting a 50-foot cliff in front of you, people shooting at you. Difficult time.
Army veteran Scott Barker had the opportunity to relive D-Day often.
As part of my portfolio, what you're required to do, for that position, was to coordinate and manage all of the commemorative events out in Normandy every year that happen on the anniversary of D-Day. In October, we would start planning, the different ceremonies and events, and we would get, U.S. units to come in and participate. One of the events that seems to help us attract U.S. participation is a reenactment of the airdrop that happened, during D-Day.
Each year bringing back fresh memories.
It's amazing when you go to these events. It's like a pilgrimage. You see the veterans, tearing up, and everybody tearing up. The veterans are getting older, and almost every year, I think every year I was there, one veteran died, while there. And it's almost unanimous when they talk to the next of kin. They say, if he had picked his place to die, it would be here, at the D-Day Memorial.
Barker says World War II took a turn because of those veterans and the thousands who sacrificed their lives on the beaches of Normandy.
Boy, I mean, I believe it, was the straw that broke the camel's back, for Hitler. I mean, everything went down from there. All of France, in my experience, seems to really appreciate what the U.S. did for them, and they still remember it.
Now Barker hopes others will remember the day the way he says he always will.
A pleasure for me and a privilege for me to represent the United States during those times. Something I'll never forget, and I know that the U.S. presence there in France will keep these ceremonies going, forever.
Barker says every 5 years there is a big commemoration event in France. He helped plan the 65th anniversary back in 2009 with 5 dignitaries in town. He says this year for the 80th, he expects it to be even bigger. In the studio, Erin Jenkins, 9 on your side.
Erin, thanks for sharing that story.